There we go. People should actually be able to hear me now. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's having a lovely, lovely morning. I am here playing Super Metroid. Hopefully the stream does not fall apart, although it already has kind of a little bit, because apparently the last stream we did was in 1440p, which broke. I had to go in and fix a whole bunch of stuff, and then of course, you know, I was muted, of course. But yeah, so this is my first stream like this in a while, where I'm just, you know, playing a game and just having fun. This is more just like a test stream for Thursday, because we will be doing the Sims live stream on Thursday. I want to make sure that everything, you know, looks and works correctly on Thursday. So we'll be doing that then. But until then, friends, let's just play some Super Metroid. I'm just gonna jump in. We'll delete one of these 3 saves that has, you know, full clears on them. It's fine. Do this. But yeah, so we're gonna I'm gonna basically just try and play this as much as I can. I do have to leave at 2:30 Eastern time, so we got about, you know, 2 hours and 20 minutes to beat this game. Let's see if we can do this. I'm gonna try and beat this game as quickly as possible. I think we can beat it in 2 hours and 20 minutes. I first battled the Metroids on planet Zibes. It was there that I foiled the plans of the space pirate leader Mother Brain to use the creatures to attack the galactic civilization. Also, I love the fact too that even though you guys are seeing like a smooth kind of output on the stream for the game itself, my screen just seems to flicker every once in a while. So again, I'm learning some fun things today, folks. It's great. Hello, Winter Gamer. Why have I had to wait so long for you to stream? Yeah, it's been a long time, you know. I've had a bunch of computer problems, and then, you know, at my old place, the upload speed for streaming was just terrible. Like, I could barely get, you know, a couple megabytes up, let alone kilobits. So it was just so hard to stream at my old place. But at this place, we've got really good internet, so that combined with the fact that I've kind of cleaned out my computer a little bit, I feel like, you know, things have gotten better anyways on the streaming end. So that's why I felt confident going ahead and doing this. And yeah, so again, hopefully this is something we'll do a little more often than just, you know, today or on Thursday anyways. Maybe we'll do some Sims more often. I kind of do want to do like more retro game streams like this though, because I do, you know, love playing retro games like Super Metroid or other RPGs and stuff like that too. I've talked about the idea of even doing like a, you know, a Legend of Dragoon like full playthrough live stream of doing that over like a couple weeks and stuff, or like other RPGs and things like that. So yeah. And yes, Seth, this intro is so good. In fact, again, I've talked about it on other podcasts before, but, you know, Super Metroid's my favorite game of all time. I've beaten this game like 50 to 100 times at this point. Like, it's pretty high. It's definitely like it's one of the games I've beaten the most, because I just really enjoy it. Like, it's my perfect, you know, comfort food kind of game. Just going around and playing this game and kind of just trying to speed run it usually as quickly as possible. And oh god, I forgot to change the controls before going into this, but whatever, we're gonna just roll with that. Because I usually map the jump button to the B and the Y buttons, jump and shoot, but instead, I forgot it's mapped to X and A. But we'll get through this. I just started playing Prime last night. Ever since last year, I've fallen in love with the sound of Metroid. Ooh, yes, Winter Gamer, yes. You're playing, I mean, I hope you're playing Prime for the first time. That game is amazing. It's sad that we didn't get the remake or remaster or whatever was rumored to come out this year, because I think that would have been really incredible. But I can't wait to see what they do next with, you know, either whether it's Metroid Prime 4 or if they do bring Prime back as a remaster or remake. I'm just gonna jump into it. I'm gonna speed run this section. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what they do with Prime at some point. But I love it. It's so good. First time, and I put it on the Logitech G Cloud. You're pulling a Donnie Reese there. Playing old games on Prime. even just the little ambient things like the whole Online series are so good. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that made me fall in love with this game, Seth, was the sound effects, the attention to detail, both, from the music and then the sound effects and the way it kind of plays into the environmental storytelling of this game. Just how it creates just an overall mood and atmosphere. It made me appreciate that more, not just in this game, but also in other video games or other media as well. Like, I knew that at the time that this came out, because I'd seen like the Alien movies, for example, when I played this game, but I never understood why I liked them so much. And playing Super Metroid really got me, made me realize why I like those movies so much, or why I like a lot of movies like them. So it really, again, put a lot of things in perspective for me personally, which again is one of the reasons why this game holds such a special place in my heart at this point. Oh, okay, Winter Gamer. I didn't know Donnie got the help from you. That's cool. Also, what's awesome about this stream as well, you're probably noticing, again, it's not the smoothest thing in the world, smoothest look for the game, because I'm actually playing this on original hardware. I'm playing it on my original childhood Super Nintendo with my childhood cartridge of Super Metroid that I played as a kid, that I just poured, hours and hours into, and I just, played it a ton on this console. I have, again, a lot of special memories playing this particular console as well. So, again, I could have played this on Switch Online and used the Switch controls, but there's just something about, using the Super Nintendo controller to play this game that it's just, it can't be beat, I think. Yeah, basically, Seth, what I'm using for this is I have just my old school Super Nintendo with HD Retrovision component cables, which output the console at 480p, or sorry, 480i, it outputs at 240p over composite, and then it's going into a RetroTink 2X, which then is putting it into 480p, which is then going through an M Classic, which is then upscaling it to 1080p, all while not introducing any latency. Because, again, that's kind of the way that I have to set all of this up in order to hook it up through HDMI. Also, what am I doing? I totally need more ball here. But yeah, so that's how I have this set up. I do really want to get either a RetroTink 5X at some point, or I did see that Analog is actually doing one last run of the Super NT, which would also be a really solid replacement for this, because I do think that Analog actually makes great consoles. I have the Mega SG, which I really love, and the Analog Pocket, so I'm thinking about either doing that or, again, just investing in a RetroTink 5X, because I do have a lot of consoles beyond Super Nintendo that I'd love to hook up and have really great resolution for them. Also, I think as soon as I can get to a save point, I think I'm going to actually save and get out of the game and then change the controls. I forgot to do that before we started. Just get these other missiles. We'll have to come back to this area later, but I just always like to grab these missiles here, just so we just have them. Okay. Either way, I hope everyone's having a lovely, Tuesday morning or afternoon, depending on your time zone. I know it's a lovely day outside today. It's 16 degrees outside in Toronto today, which is, unnaturally warm for this time of year here in Canada. Again, I had to mention the weather at some point today. Y'all know me that well. I did not time that jump out. Again, I'm getting my muscle memory is kind of getting in the way here because I forgot to remap the button controls before starting. Go ahead and mark that space on your bingo cards. Absolutely. I feel like, that's like a Ryan Turford stream staple, me mentioning the weather. Next, I'll probably talk about some weird, obscure RPG, and then, I might start talking about, some other weird thing that I tend to talk about. It's super windy where I'm at today, Was concerned trees might fall over, listening intently for crack sound when the wind picks up. I gotta make those bingo cards. I'm actually curious to know, Lachlan, what else would end up being on my bingo card besides talking about the weather. It's like, I don't know if I really talk about, like, I mean, there might be certain words that I say repeatedly, but there's not, I don't know if there's, like, specific topics that I tend to talk about more than once. And there too early. It's true, I do say anyways a lot less. That is, you're not wrong about that. Also, we need a space for you saying meow in place for now. Yeah, I guess we do need to kind of do that at some point. I gotta make the transition to, you know, saying right meow or meow for things instead of now. But that is a recent thing as well. And it's mostly because I know it bugs Sean, which makes me want to do it just even more anyways. Alright. Normally I wouldn't save this early, but I feel like we're gonna reset the game. Hoping the game comes back, because sometimes my capture card does weird things. Okay. So let's fix the controls. Yep, well, that's fine. Although, actually, the hilarious thing last night on the RPG Cave is normally people are like, normally I'm like on top of saying, you know, right, we're live right now, but last night I totally forgot to do it. And the best part is Garrett didn't call me out on it. Because that's just a sign of a good co-host right there. If I forget to do something and, you know, I kind of, you know, just want to keep the show going, you know, he didn't, you know, call me out on it or anything like that. Not that Sean does or anything like that. Sean here just had to watch it to watch our own stream, I guess. The best part is, Sean, you're helping support the stream now. That's your way of helping support Carpool Gaming, by watching that ad to come watch us. By the way, Sean, I hope you're having a lovely, lovely, you know, day today. Hey, whoa. I did not throw Garrett under the bus there. I appreciate that he didn't call me out. It's good. It's a good thing, Sean. There we go. First boss of the game down. Super easy boss. We got our bombs now. I'm legit panicked about my travel plans. Yeah, it's coming up, Sean. Next week. And next week is the week of Extra Life. It's gonna be fun. All of us, Rome, New York. Streaming games for 24 hours. It's gonna be a good time, man. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot that you're going to Chicago this week. I forgot about that. You're gonna hopefully have some of that amazing thing that people call pizza in Chicago. But more importantly, I know that you got Portillo's across the street from you, as well as some other, you know, Chicago staples. So at least, you know, you'll have some good food while you're there. Yeah, honestly, the only time I've been to Chicago was when we took one time when we were, you know, visiting Texas. We decided to do the smart idea of taking a Greyhound all the way back from, you know, Temple, Texas, all the way back to Canada. And one of the stops, basically to transfer between buses on the way back to Canada, was in Chicago. And that was the only time I've ever really been to Chicago. And even then, like, you couldn't really go anywhere from the bus terminal. And it was like the middle of the night for us. at that point, so it's not like you could really go anywhere. So he never really got to explore Chicago. But that's the only time I've ever actually been in Chicago. Greyhounds are super cute in my opinion. Greyhound dogs are cute. Greyhound buses, I don't know if they'd fall under the term cute. I don't know if I'd qualify like that. I was talking about the Greyhound bus. No. It's all good. It's all good. Just stocking up on some missiles since we're gonna need them. These ones. Ryan rode into Chicago upon a Greyhound dog mount. I mean, yes, clearly that's what happened. That's the real story. By the way, the music in Brinstar is so good. I love this music. It's really good. Both the Brinstar areas have great music too. I kind of want to just, jam out to this music. In fact, like this was again one of the first games that I really appreciated the soundtrack to. Even though I'd played games with good music on the NES before playing this one, but this is the first one where I intentionally went to areas of the game and just hung out in those areas just to listen to the music. Especially like the red soil area in Brinstar, which we'll get to in a bit. The music there in particular, I just really love. And it's also a shame that we just don't really get that in a lot of the other games when they reuse themes. Although we did get it in Metroid Dread, which I appreciated. But I do love this game a lot. But yes, so I would definitely not recommend doing like a 3-day venture on a bus. It's not a very fun experience. Alright, so we're gonna go down, we're gonna get the charge beam. Because we're about to go fight Spore Spawn, everyone's, second favorite, early game boss. Although, again, a lot of speedrunners are able to just, skip past Spore Spawn, so they never actually have to fight him. Because his fight just takes forever, despite the fact that he's super easy. Hate these stupid flying guys. They broke out of their cage there. The SSMP can produce so much more layered music. SNES music still absolutely holds up. Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why these games will always be timeless. Between the pixel art graphics and then the music and sound effects and just the sound chip on this particular console. There's a reason why these games will just never go out of style or never feel super dated. I mean, there are examples of Super Metroid or Genesis games that feel dated, sure, but it's so tough for them to feel out of date because of the wide range of sounds the console could produce. Of course, at the time though, we were all like CD audio was all the rage, and that's why people were super excited for the CD-based consoles to come out. But yeah, it's hard to top all these years later going back and popping in like a Super Nintendo or even a Sega Genesis game too, because even though I know that the Sega Genesis itself doesn't produce like the same level of audio quality that the Super Nintendo has, I do really love music and sound effects made on like the Genesis sound chip as well. I think that it produces some great sounds as well, and they just feel different from each other too. That's one of the things I like about them as well. like even playing games that like the same game on 2 different consoles, even if they kept the gameplay the same, like even hearing the musical differences between the Super Nintendo and Genesis versions is always like super cool and kind of like a trip to go listen to with some games. Although I'm not gonna lie, like when I got like my Sega CD for the first time and playing, you know, games like Lunar Arnet with, you know, CD quality music, like it kind of just blew my mind then at that point with, you know, some of the music we got at our disposal there. People really understood how to use it, and sound fonts are so different. Absolutely, yeah. And again, yeah, you can definitely tell, like you can definitely hear like the evolution of, you know, developers getting a firmer handle on the sound chip with later entries in games as well. I still wonder every time I come to this boss, like, what is this guy's deal? What is Spore Spawn's deal? Like, why does he exist, or what's his purpose in life? Because he really just like exists to basically like open his mouth to eat nothing and kind of just bob his head back and forth, and he's kind of stuck to the wall, so he can't really do anything. So curious to know what his actual purpose in life actually is supposed to be at this point, or what his role is in like the planet Zebe's ecosystem. Whee! Alright, now we're going to grab super missiles, and then we can head on over to Norfair, which is exciting. Since Seth is in the chat, I have to mention this. Seth, what did you think about the Bayonetta reviews today? Because it's looking really good. I'm excited for that game. I'm excited for later this week. It's going to be great. How many times have I replayed Dread, Winter Gamer? Honestly, I've only played it twice. I haven't actually gone back and beaten Dread more than twice at this point. Because, I don't know, there's something about that game that just doesn't make it as replayable for me to want to go back to it all the time. I don't know what it is about it. And like, Metroid Samus Returns also felt that way for me too. I don't know if it's just that, you know, it's hard for me to, you know, it's hard for me to choose to replay Metroid Dread over replaying, you know, something like Super Metroid or Zero Mission or something like that. But I don't know. I still really love that game. But I haven't really had like the itch to go back and play Metroid Dread more than twice at this point. I mean, I'm so excited. I mean, I'm sad for Sean, but I'm more excited. I mean, you can't just be sad for Sean, because I'm also, like, you can be sad for me too, because him and I are kind of in the same, you know, predicament when it comes to Bayonetta in the trophy room versus the Carpool gaming fantasy critically. Because it's just one of those things where, you know, the initial trailer for Bayonetta 3 did not look great, and I was like, oh, maybe this is the one that isn't, you know, super highly rated on Metacritic or other places. But no, they came out and surprised us. Although, again, with the second trailer, I kind of knew that, hey, this game was going to be in a great spot, and it was going to be really awesome. So, again, I got my copy coming in on Friday, and I'm excited to play it. It's not going to be like a day one play for me, though. I know it's probably not going to go down in price for a while, so this is one of those things we're grabbing it early, and it just makes sense. And then I'm mostly jumping into Star Ocean later this week. That's kind of my jam, the game that I'm going to be playing a lot this week. So I got to be the one person at Carpool Gaming who actually plays Star Ocean. In fact, as Garrett Bland pointed out last night, I might be the only person playing Star Ocean: The Divine Force this week. But someone's got to play it. Someone's got to play that game, and that person is going to be me. Also, I love the fact that you can totally go get the Spacer super early, and it's not like a difficult trick or anything to do or anything. Yeah, I'm fast-tracking Mario plus Rabbids because I really want to get the review done before diving into Bayonetta. I've put like 20 hours into Mario plus Rabbids since last Friday night. That's awesome. Again, as long as you're enjoying the game, Seth, that's the main thing. I just, as long as you're not, pouring over those hours, putting those hours in just to get the review done. I hope you're genuinely enjoying the game too, on top of that. But yeah, Mario plus Rabbids is another one too that I'm excited to get to at some point, but it's also just kind of on the back burner at this point. I'll get to it kind of when I've got time opening up later this year, but who knows when that'll be at this point. Spoilers, it's a good game. Yeah, I honestly never kind of questioned it. It just, ever since we saw that game, I'm like, yep, that's going to be a real good video game. Yeah, I really like the last one, Seth, so I'm actually, really excited to check out Sparks out. I think it's going to be awesome. But yeah, it's just, there's so many games out right now, it's tough to play everything, unfortunately. But that's one of the reasons why it's nice that, and Sean talks about this all the time too, but it's nice that, us at Carpool have like a diverse set of like games that we're into, so that we're all kind of like, everyone has like their own games that they really want to check out, and we all can, play whatever we want to play at this point. I'm going to wait for all the DLC for Rabbids before I buy. That's a good strategy, Winter Gamer. Like, cause then, like, how likely is it gonna be that you go back and play that DLC then after you beat the game? So I totally respect that. Also, my screen just randomly turning to black and then not being black anymore is kind of annoying. I hope that that's not an issue that persists. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, Seth, you're right. Like, Mario plus Rabbids, the original went on sale pretty quickly. So, it's likely that there's probably like a good sale that comes from this at some point. Because it is a Ubisoft game, technically, even though it is a Mario game. It is a Ubisoft game, so it'll go on sale at some point. Also, if only, Ubisoft Plus existed on Switch, then in theory you could just, you would just get it day one with your subscription. Also, this area right here, like, the Spacer is an optional weapon that you can get in this game. This area is such a pain if you don't have the Spacer. Recharge a little bit. Alright, we're good. Alright, it's time to fight Kraid. Again, a boss that I couldn't believe when I first played this game, like how the size and the scale of this boss at the time. Because he's just so big. He's so big. Like, and again, like in this era, one of the things that developers like to do a lot was like big sprites in games, and like this game has like huge sprites for some reason. Again, I love how it like starts with like the tip of the iceberg for Kraid. He's like kind of manageably sized, and then he just becomes like super big very quickly. It's just really cool. Missing my timing. I was not expecting a just charge for it right now. And there we go. Easy. Ooh, it looks like they dropped what looks like an enemies trailer for God of War. That's pretty cool, Winter Gamer. I'm actually, again, like at the point with God of War where I just want the game to come out, and I don't want to know anything about it at this point. So I'm kind of steering clear of like any of the new trailers. Like I've really only watched like the God of War trailer that was in the last state of play. That's really like the only footage I've seen from it. Because I just, again, just don't want to know anymore. I know I'm sold on God of War, and I'm just ready to play it, you know, next week when it comes out. Which is, or sorry, 2 weeks from now. Grade down. Hello, Court. How are you doing on this lovely Tuesday today? I hope you're having a good day, my friend. Also, Court, you know, put up a questions post already for the Xbox Drive. So if you have questions for the show, go pop over there and let us know what you want us to talk about tomorrow. We may be talking about Gotham Knights tomorrow, which is exciting. I'm actually like super excited to have that conversation with Court tomorrow and talk about Gotham Knights, because I got a lot to say about that game, both good and bad. Like I think there's a lot of interesting things to talk about that game. I love the game that you're playing. Yeah, I mean, Super Metroid's amazing, Court. It's the best. I mean, I've even got like my full, you know, Metroid uniform today with my Super Metroid t-shirt and my Metroid hat. Totally a thing. Also, welcome back to the stream, Lockwood. Also, I went this way by mistake. It's true. In fact, you know, Winter Gamer has been talking a lot about a certain game called God of War, Court. I don't know if you've heard of it. They released a new trailer today, which I'm sure, again, Matt and you maybe will talk about on PlayStation 5, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, believe it or not, Court, like, this was actually the first Metroid game that I finished as well. Because I had Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. That was the first one that I played. But it was not the first one I finished, because that game is just, like, Metroid 2 in particular is just so hard without the map, and the fact that it's in black and white, you can't really tell where you're going. Like, it's a hard game to beat on the original Game Boy, without a guide anyways. And just, you know, guides didn't really exist when it came out. So, besides, you know, Nintendo Power, which I just didn't have the issue of Nintendo Power, they gave you all the info for, you know, Metroid 2. Yeah, Super Metroid was definitely like the first one that the first Metroid game that I played and beat and just loved it from the moment I started it to the moment I finally put it down and finished it. And this was also one of those games too where we had our Nintendo Power subscription at the time, so of course they put out like the full guide to Super Metroid, which was super cool. So I had the map, like all the maps and all the boss strategies and stuff, and where all the items were found, which was super helpful. And it also just helped me learn the root of the game really well. Because again, I have like the 100% map kind of mapped out in my brain at this point. So I know where all the items are. We're not going to get them all today because I just only have so much time today, but I do know how to get everything in this game. Yeah, the music, Court, is pretty awesome, especially like in a lot of the other areas. I prefer the music more than kind of the Norfair music, but I like the more atmospheric music in Norfair. It really like sets the tone for this area. And it's not like the weird like bleeps and bloops that the Norfair music was in the original Metroid, which, you know, the first time I heard it kind of cracked me up a little bit, because I just did not take that area seriously, especially like the Ridley music in the original Metroid on NES is just like kind of silly when you first hear it, but then when you hear a heavy metal version of it, it's really good. But Yeah. This is like a stark contrast to what we got in that game. Also, the music in this area kind of reminds me of a lot of the music we get in Dread, where it is more, atmospheric kind of music, rather than, giving you some serious bops. Also, I love this area, how it's like, you gotta escape the lava, because it's coming up so quickly, but it's like, it's the slowest, lava-filling area of, like, any video game I've ever played. You are flying through the levels, says Lockleth. But Lockleth, this is actually me going, actually I'm on a slower pace than usual with this game, if I'm being honest. I'm making some rookie mistakes here, partially because, my screen every once in a while is flashing, and it's kind of interrupting some of my jumps and stuff like that. So I'm not doing as well as usual. But I also pride myself of being, really good at this game. In the same way that I am kind of with, Mega Man 1 or 2 or 3. Those games, I could probably play with my eyes closed at this point. Hello, Hopple. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are having a lovely, lovely day. Or evening, I guess, because I guess it would be evening for you. We're just over here playing Super Metroid and making sure my computer does not break. So far, so good. We're 40 minutes into the stream and nothing's broken yet, other than, breaking at the start. But, we got a good thing going here. Because, again, I'm getting ready for the Sims stream on Thursday. So be here 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday for me to reveal my face in The Sims 4. It's exciting. Yo, Dallas Ford, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely Tuesday, good sir. And we got the speed boost. We're going to just fly through this area. Hello, Stingray X. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, good sir. Also, what kind of area is this where, just the background of the cave is just bubbles? What is this place even supposed to be, anyways? Again, that's why, some of the backgrounds in Super Metroid, it's just where am I even right now? Because again, going through these blocks here, it's okay, this is clearly a cave area, but why is it just bubbles behind me? What's going on there? So far, so good. Picked up Cult while it's still on sale. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's one I still haven't checked out yet. It's one of those things where I don't like roguelites and I don't like city building stuff, and that game does both of those things. So it just it's the type of game that scares someone like me away. But I'm glad that people love that game, and I do kind of want to maybe play it at some point before the end of the year. We'll see about that. So we still need the power bombs, so we can come back here and do that area. We're gonna go get the ice beam now. I almost wish there was a good way of shortcutting this a bit, where I didn't have to get the ice beam to go get the power bombs, and then I could kind of get both the power bombs, get the ice beam and do the crocodile area, kind of all in one jump. But alas, they make you, teach you how to use the ice beam first by having you go back to get the power bombs. I love how, again, those enemies there, they basically just exist to just be there to be shot by the ice beam, so then I can use them as a platform to get across. Because they're clearly not, you know, doing anything else in the lava there. They just, you know, are just hanging out there. Back to Brinstar we go. My last one of those games was Gunlord X as a replacement for Turrican. Oh, that's cool. I have not played Gunlord X. In fact, I really don't know much about that game, if I'm being honest. All right, here we go again. My favorite, or I guess it's kind of tied for my favorite music in this game. My other favorite musical track will be much later in the game. We get to Ridley's Lair. Like, I love the Ridley Lair music in this game too. The music here, in the Red Soil area, I just absolutely love it. It's so good. And again, this is, like I talked about it earlier, but this is one of those areas I would just come and hang out in back in the day and just listen to the music. Because this game, you know, doesn't really have like a sound test, so you can't really listen to the music in the menus of the game. So I would just, you know, just come here and just hang out in this area for, you know, 20 or 30 minutes just to, you know, listen to this music because it's so good. And again, I love when they brought this music back in Metroid Prime 2 as well, in like the bog area. Like, it was really cool. I was kind of hoping he'd give me a super missile there. Not gonna lie. You're gonna get more of these dudes who just exist to basically be shot. And here we go. Power bombs acquired. So we've at this point, I think we're about like a quarter of the way through the game, but there's a lot of stuff we're gonna kind of do in between this area and kind of like the next major area we go to. Have to try not to jump too high in there with the space jump. Did not get enough of a jump there. There we go. Also, I'm a little bit sad when the TV commercials for Super Metroid came on back in the day, and they showed that you could blow up the water tank there, leading into Meridia. Like, it's such a cool moment when it happens and when you kind of figure it out on your own. But it's a little sad when, you know, the TV commercials for the game kind of spoiled that little area, because I think that's like super cool. I should really just be speed boosting to this, but yeah, whatever. And this area, of course, basically just exists for the speed booster, just to exist. Alright, it's time to fight Crocomire. Basically, again, just exists to be pushed off the bridge. He's not a great player. I mean, what can I say, Hopple? You gotta go fast. You gotta go fast in this game. The speed booster does make you feel a little bit like something, which is kind of cool. And then I love, too, just the way the speed booster gives you, like, some extra abilities as well for Samus outside of just going fast. And how, like, you can totally break the game if you know how to use them correctly, which is kind of cool. Yes, Lachlan, he's exactly like an evil, hungry, hungry hippo. But, I mean, to be fair, he's not really that scary. You know, look at how adorable that crocodile is. He exists just to hang out and be there. Even though, like, it's totally like one of the most like gruesome deaths in any Nintendo video game of an enemy is Crocomire. Because you knock him in the lava and then it like melts his skin off his face and stuff. Like, oh, it's so cool. And then he comes back as a skeleton. And you think you're gonna have to fight him as a skeleton, but he's just like, I'm kind of done. I pushed this wall over for you to help you, I guess, to thank you for knocking me into the lava. And I forgot I can't go through there yet. There, we pull a full Sonic there, going, you know, super speed, and then, you know, jumping over all that debris there. And now we've got the grappling beam, which is like, I like the grappling beam, but it's just so unwieldy in this game, and especially like, there's a lot of areas where you just, it wants you to use the grapple beam, but you totally don't have to, as long as you know how to do the wall jump. Because again, once you know how to do the wall jump again, it kind of like breaks the game a little bit in certain areas, which again, I really like the fact that, like, the idea that they have this mechanic that doesn't really tell you how to use, but if you learn how to use it, it actually can just totally save you a ton of time with the game. Come on, give me those super pieces. There we go. That's enough. Yeah, we don't really need like a big supply of power bombs. It's one of those items where it's like they limit you on the amount you can carry, but realistically, you just never really need them. It's, you know, blowing up like a barrier here or there. Because no enemies are really weak to them. So it's just like, well, what? It's just weird that it gives you so much of them. Gotta get that E-tank. I would be very surprised too if we don't get all the E-tanks today, just cause. jump past the dudes. Sims can really jump. Yes, I mean, especially because you get like the high jump really early in the game. You actually can jump, you know, very high, very quickly in this game. And then again, with the wall jump, if you know how to do it correctly, you can basically just jump infinitely in this game and go just basically as high as you want at this point. Also, you know, welcome to the Moderators Club, Lockwood. I'm so glad that you're part of the Moderators team now. It's exciting. You got yourself a little blue name tag now. That's cool. I figured I'd help out since I tend to be here for most of the streams. That's true. You and Kevin Ainsworth are usually like the stalwarts of who's always at the stream block club. Ooh, we are coming up on 1 p.m. and we're maybe now closer to the halfway point of this game. We're gonna beat like the second major boss. But then there's not a lot of time kind of between the third and fourth boss, which is nice. So we're still on pace to be able to beat this by 2:30. Assuming I don't get lost, of course. Again, we could, in theory, go get the X-ray scope at this point, but there's no reason for us to do that. And oh my god, I totally forgot. We have to actually go back to normal because I forgot an item. I forgot we need to get the wave beam in order to get back. Although in theory we could take the entrance up top, which again, the wave beam's not required. It just makes things easier. And I was doing so well too, and I totally forgot that we were supposed to do that. Yo, Lee Navarro, I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. The fearless leader of the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life team is finally here. Welcome on in to the stream, Lee. I hope you're having a good day, my friend. Again, we're basically playing Super Metroid on a test stream today, just to basically make sure my computer does not fall apart before the big stream on Thursday with The Sims 4. Because, of course, Super Metroid takes a backseat to The Sims, of all places, so. I need more days of our Sims. If only. If only. Come on, get out of there. There we go. I love basically how you're, when you revisit an area like this that was actually like not super challenging, but challenging enough that it was kind of annoying before. Like with the ice beam, now that you were visiting the area, it's just so much easier. You just plow through the enemies because you can freeze them. And it just, again, I love the added, dynamic to the gameplay and how it just makes you feel just much more powerful as the game goes on. Like that's one of the things, my favorite things about this game is I love the power progression in Super Metroid and how balanced it feels. Ryan, I'm riling up the Magic community here to tell them a Canadian moose is coming to take all of their lands. I mean, that is kind of what's happening. Oh, by the way, I totally was dying in spikes while reading that message because my screen totally turned black for 5 seconds, and I couldn't see that I was in the lava. So, in case you're wondering why I was just standing in the lava for no reason, just casually. I'm just adding the difficulty to myself to make it a little bit tougher. But yes, I'm excited to take all of their lands. Even though, we don't really have, land destruction spells in modern Magic. I'm not going to be casting an Armageddon or anything like that to physically destroy all their lands. And there's not really enough death spells that take lands. But maybe I'll just take all their creatures instead. I think that's more fun. Because if there's one thing, Lee, that I'm confident in is my ability to play Magic the Gathering. I think I'm pretty good at that game. And it's not very often, to Lachlan's point, because I'm a little bit humble about some of this stuff. It's not very often I actually usually like to say I'm like pretty good at a video game or just a game in general, but Magic the Gathering is one I'm pretty good at. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the draft. I think it's going to be fun. Yes, Lachlan, in fact, I am a humble weatherman. That is who I am. I need to do more weather reports. Clearly, I just, the message isn't coming across enough that I'm, a pro weatherman. Also, I love this room because the first time you go in here, you're like, oh, there's nothing else here. There can't possibly be anything else here. And I just love that there's actually like a little thing you can just shoot up, and then it brings you to this whole other room with stuff in it. That just, all these creatures just exist behind a hidden door, which is kind of cool. And again, there's another secret on top of the secret in the secret room. Oh, it's so good. Here we go, we got a reserve tank in case we die. You should do a flight stream. I mean, maybe that's in the cards at some point. Again, this is something I want to do more often, Brendan. So I would love to do more streams like this one. Just very chill, kind of, hangout streams where we just play stuff. Which is one of the reasons why I'm actually excited to stream The Sims, because that's very much a game where it's just like, yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. You're gonna watch me talk about, the furniture in my house and stuff like that, or, all the weird, Sim stuff. But I don't know. Stay focused on The Sims, says Sean Capri. Sean, I'm not turning into, contrary to popular belief or what you want, I guess, I'm not turning into a full-time Sim streamer. That's not gonna happen. There are too many retro games on my shelf, Sean, for me to become a pro Sim streamer and just do just that. We may as well grab the map here. Hopple, the thing is, you can get a lot of TV equipment in The Sims, but you can't, make yourself a weather person in The Sims. Like, it's not a profession you can do in that game, unfortunately. You can't even really be a TV person. You can be an actress or an actor, but you can't actually have like a you know, you can't. There's no TV career. There's no weather person career where you can become a weather person. Now we're set to go back, and there's going to be a lot of cleanup, I think, before we go to the next area we're going to go to. Because now that we have like a specific set of items, now we can kind of do a lot of cleanup on getting all the extra items along the way. Once again, still not going to go and bother with the X-ray scope. We just do not need that item. Of course, it's head bobbing time because we got the Brinstar music going again. Ah, this music's really good too. Every time I just jump, I'm being such a noob today in this game. Alright, so first things first, we go up here. Power bombs. I mean, what could I say, Sean? I just, you know, the door made me very angry. I just wanted to destroy it. So now that we're back in like the starting area, we can then, you know, go over here because there's some extra stuff we can do. Yeah, the power bomb is kind of like a thermal detonator, but it's just bigger, you know, more explosive. Grab that. Yeah, come on. There we go. Grab that energy tank. Yeah, there's actually more we can do in this room because there's like an elevator shaft you can go up there, but we don't have the gravity suit yet, so we can't go there just yet. Oh, finally filling up the auto tank. Just in case, you know, for some reason we get close to dying in this game. Which I would be very surprised if we got to that point. Yeah, let's go up here first. Get some of this stuff. Again, Criteria also, the area we're in, Criteria has like underrated music too. It's got some good music here too. So that screen flashing is getting very annoying. Right, so we can actually bomb Mother Brain's old resting place here. There's some items down here. Which again, I don't understand why missiles would be underneath, you know, Mother Brain's, you know, platform, but whatever. You know, I didn't make up this game. Also, it's funny because, like, originally when you go to this area for the first time, like, these enemies die in one hit, but because, you know, I'm using the ice beam, it actually takes 2 hits. So it's actually more efficient to actually, you know, not use your upgraded weapons in this area instead of using your upgrades, which is just, it's fun. It's a funny game design thing to think about, like why they programmed it that way. I screwed this up. What system am I playing this on, Sean? I'm playing it on my OG Super Nintendo. So I'm playing on my original childhood Super Nintendo with a Super Nintendo controller with my childhood copy of Super Metroid. So this is actually going through basically HD Retrovision component cables, and then from there it's going through a RetroTink 2X, and then through that it's then going through and M Classic, basically to get it in 1080p for the stream in HDMI with no latency. Yes, I basically have like the Frankenstein setup like right next to me, Sean. It's a thing. Also, I totally forgot to get these missile. But it's on Switch. Yes, but Sean, there's something about playing this with the Super Nintendo controller on original hardware that it can't be beat, Sean. It can't be beat. Yeah, my Super NES Mini is in a box somewhere. In fact, actually, now I think about it, I don't think my Super NES Mini is here. I think it is at in a box in my mom's basement currently. Yes, Lockleth, you're correct. I'm apparently the purist. I mean, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to that stuff, especially because, like, again, I love playing on original hardware. That's just something I love doing. And plus, too, having a setup like this is good because there's a lot of games that aren't on Switch Online that I can play. Like, I can play Luffy and the Fortress of Doom, or X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, or UN Squadron. There's a lot of games I can play that I don't, need to have a hacked SNES Classic, or again, just Switch Online just doesn't have those games. So I'm just gonna, this is the way that I'm, confronting that problem. Ryan, get your N64 controller grip ready for Extra Life Friday's pizza party to play Rave Waste 64. I'm excited, Lee. I think that's gonna be fun. I gave my sister my SNES Mini at the start of the pandemic so she had something to play Super Mario World on. Oh, that's sweet, Brendan. But Sean, like, instead of bringing your SNES Classic, you could just bring your Super Nintendo with a copy of UN Squadron and a whole bunch of other things to hook it up to so it can hook up to your capture card. That could be you. That's what you could be doing. I mean, that's the Ryan Turford lifestyle. That's kind of my thing, And also, Sean, I actually can play this on the Analog Pocket as well, and which I have a dock for. So in theory, I could have played it that way too. But no, man, we're doing it old school way. Just like, eventually when I do another retro stream, like eventually, I'll probably do the Mega Man games at some point. Even though there's a Mega Man collection on literally every platform, I'm just gonna pull out the old cartridges and just play them that way. Play my Super Famicom versions of Mega Man, and it's gonna be great. You guys are gonna love it. We don't need to go in that area, but we do need to go down here. Alright, let's see if we screw this up. This is a very easy trick to screw up, so let's see what happens here. And we screwed it up. It's not very often I screw up that trick. We'll come back to it. And here we go. We got the introduction of the animal friends that we're going to rescue later. They teach you basically how to do the wall jump, which is kind of cool because, like, again, this is, totally an optional part of the game. You don't ever have to come here if you don't want to. But I love how it, teaches this trick, which then, again, just saves you so much time in the long run later in the game. let's try and get that energy tank one more time. There we go. Didn't screw it up that time. We'll go here, through here. Get the super missiles, because this is... These are two, like, very critical upgrades that if you miss, it just makes your life so much more difficult later on in the game. And we missed it again, but that's fine. So we can go through here again, see our animal buddies. That's the really awkward spot for me. Alright, let's do the wall jump one more time and show this off. There we go. Just jam it out to this music. It's still really, really, really good. Alright, back to Norfair we go, so we can go fight our next boss. Blowing through these guys. We could stop to get these health power-ups, but we're gonna get like a nice refill pretty soon. Alright, we're gonna make a safety save here. Because this is one of the two areas in the game that we could probably die at. But I think we've done enough preparation that we should be good for Phantom. Which is the boss that is just probably like the toughest boss in this game, is this next boss. Do you think you can finish before 2:30 your time ride? I think it's entirely possible. I do think, because I am going a little bit slower than normal, that we might not be able to get all the way there, but I'm pretty confident that it's entirely possible. Especially if I speed run this a little bit. And the main thing is, as long as I don't make too many mistakes between now and I say that as I make a mistake, of course, but as long as I don't make too many mistakes between now and the end of the game, then we should be fine. I mean, speedrunners usually, it only takes them about, like, an hour or two to finish this game. So. I love the fact that I say all that and I'm, again, totally botching this section, which is just funny. Again, I just don't like grapple game sections. They're kind of weird. Don't fall in, don't fall in. I was so close to falling in the water and then having to do that whole area. Oh man, I love this area in the game too. The haunted ship is just so cool. And I love both this section where it's all like creepy and stuff like that, and then the other section later when you actually restore the power to it. Alright, time to fight Phantom. Who's basically a ghost of some alien creature that died in this ship. Which again, it's just kind of cool how they're like the lore behind this character. This is one of those bosses that even though we've got, the missiles and stuff, it's almost faster to kill with the charge beam. Because even though it does less damage, it actually doesn't trigger that part there. Come on. There we go. Might have one or two more. There we go. He is officially down. Again, that is probably the hardest boss in the entire game, especially if you don't know what to do correctly when he does like the flames that go back and forth. Because you basically have to shoot like an area that you can safely jump through. In fact, a lot of speedrunners there, because they have so few items when they get to this boss, that sometimes it could just be the end of their speedrun right there, because he's just such a hard boss to do. GG, absolutely Lockleth. Or not Lockleth, Hopple. I apologize for calling him Lockleth. That's my bad. Just want to get a little bit of help where I need it for the next couple areas. So again, we got a few more items we gotta go get before we can then go to Arabia. And then the game actually kind of accelerates from here for the most part, because this is like, because even though we're only 2 of 4 bosses in before Mother Brain, the intervals between the bosses get shorter and shorter from this point. Especially again, like Ridley's lair takes like 10 or 20 minutes to get to this point. kill every enemy in this room before it'll let us open the door. It's basically like the modern version of like an old version of like a monster closet. Where they're just like, gotta beat all these enemies or you can't go anywhere. Let's open all the doors so that we never have to do this again because we'll have to come to this area multiple times. There we go. I'll just save us some time later. We could go for those extra mantles over there, but I'm going to save time and not go for them. And this kind of hints at like what item we're going to get next with like the water in the area, which is kind of cool. Again, I just love how, you know, the game just hints at like what the next item that you're going to get is going to do and how it's going to help you out. Assuming that we go through that door anyways, which we will. And now we get the Chozo to carry us across. Again, this was really cool, like a really cool reveal playing it for the first time and not knowing, you know, what to do in this room and how you get through it, and you know, not thinking like, oh, well, you know, if I put myself into a ball, the Chozo kind of thinks that I'm like an item that it can hold for Samus to come at some point. And we have the gravity suit. So that's the final suit we get in the game. And now we're all purple, which is cool. Again, I love the gravity suit, especially with, you know, how it helps us kind of traverse the rest of the game. And again, this is like the part in the power curve where you start to feel much more powerful at this point. We're just gonna humbly just push these dumb robots that don't have any arms over into these pits. They're just walking around on spikes so they can exist as basically bridges for us. I want to get this reserve tank again just in case we need it. Now we can go back. Poor robots, waiting for years, and now they're dead. Well, they're not. I don't know. They were moving around quite a lot while just standing on those spikes. So I don't think they're dead. Hobble. I think they're still alive and kicking. They're just, you know, their purpose in life now is basically just you know, stand on top of spikes and just randomly walk back and forth. Actually, I do need to go get the item at the top, so let's go do that. More robots. We're gonna push into spikes here. And these robots at least shoot at us. So at least, you know, they feel like they have some kind of purpose here. Or they have, like, some kind of defense. They're like, no, don't push me into the spikes or I'll shoot you. Some kind of robot acupuncture? Yeah, kind of Hopple. That's kind of what's going on there. They're just like, oh, I like, you know, just being here in the spikes. It's fine. It's fun. I'm sure it's good for the feet, the calisthenics. Again, we're just keeping all the same room because I know that we probably don't need to save. And it's weird that like they'd have a ship that's kind of built this way, where you've got like spiked platforms and stuff. It's like, how would anyone actually be able to navigate this ship? And who was even piloting this ship before? What was going on? What was the purpose of this ship? There's so many unanswered questions about the wrecked ship in Super Metroid, which we need to know the answers to. Yeah, we'll use the Carpool. I feel like it's kind of redundant, so that we don't need to use it. Oop. Gotta get that energy tank. So now we have exactly half the energy tanks in the game. And again, we get a lot of them pretty quickly in this next set of areas. We've got a little bit of a maze here with some big, alien crabs here. And I love the way that the water looks in this game. It has like a little bit of a sheen to it. It's pretty cool. If I remember correctly, it's around here. I always use a power bomb there just so it goes very quickly. Finally, by the end of the stream, I will have beaten Super Metroid. Welcome on in, Rybo. Well, thank you so much for checking out the stream today, my friend. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely Tuesday, good sir. Yeah, and there, to be fair, there's no guarantee, Rybo. There's no guarantee that you will have beaten Super Metroid, because even though it says we're gonna go all the way, I do have to finish at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. So that is in exactly 53 minutes. So if we don't finish the game in 53 minutes, and there's a realistic shot that we might not be able to, because I had to start late because of some troubleshooting stuff I had to do. That of course just happened like right before the stream started. As luck would have it, we might not be able to finish. We might get like oh so close to the end, but not actually get there. So we'll try though. We're on a good pace. We're on a good pace at this point. And it's really just going to come down to RNG on the next two bosses, and then how quickly we can get through some of these areas. But I have confidence, especially because again, like basically if we can get to Ridley and the last area in the game by 2 o'clock, then I think we have a real chance of finishing this on time. I love how it brings you to this area first with the tube exploding, so then you can see. Oh, maybe there's I forgot to grab the map. Maybe there's something I can do to get the other tubed area to explode like this. And I love just the little hints in the environmental design that the game just gives you to indicate little things that you can do in the game without spelling it out. And here we go. One of the coolest things you can do in this game, that again was spoiled in all the commercials for the game. You can totally break open the glass to get into Morbia. It looks really cool. I just love the explosion of the glass and stuff going everywhere. And again, here we're in an area as well that has like one of my favorite music tracks in the game as well. Just the like somber kind of like underwater. It's really cool. And let's see if we can. Oh, it doesn't let me report spam from here. I'm gonna wake this turtle up. Wake up! Come on. There we go. He's awake now. He's just like, get off my back. I want to go to sleep. There we go. I didn't position that fish very well. Let's just go do this the proper way. This is like one of my least favorite sequences in the game with this section you have to navigate using the grapple beam. Because it's so easy to miss one of these areas here if you don't bounce correctly. Yes, we did it without too many issues. Here we go, we're now in the second area of Maribia with this other music that we heard when we came in. And again, it's interesting because like again, the game doesn't really teach you how to use the jump there, but you can learn it if you actually go back to Brinstar. There's like an alien creature that actually teaches you how to use that. which is kind of cool. Because again, most people would get to that area casually and be like, how do I get through there? How do I use the speed boost to go up? And again, the first sign of Metroids in the game, the actual, actual Metroids, but these are like the weaker ones. Because I guess they're like babies or something. There we go. Got enough money there. Here we go, another mini boss. We got this snake dude, who again just kind of, is just swimming around, just minding his own day. And he's dead. There's also, like, in Nintendo Power, I remember that they would go over, like, the strategy of how to beat that boss, and they'd give you this really long explanation on how to beat him, and it's like, you just wait for him to stand still and shoot him. It's easy. Grab that energy tank. And we should be fighting the next main boss in about 5 minutes. Which again puts us on a good pace to get to Ridley's lair in time. Yeah, I guess I will actually use. Or I guess we don't really have to. Come on, Samus. Do your spin. I just don't really love this area in particular. It's kind of annoying with the grapple beam stuff. And of course, all these spikes are fake. Let's grab those missiles because they're basically freebies right here. Okay, now it's time to fight Dragon, a boss that actually, like, I had a ton of trouble beating as a kid. Like, I just was not very good at beating this boss. And it took a lot of tries to actually get this boss out. Once you get his pattern down, he's actually pretty easy. But yeah, taking out the cannons is actually like a good strategy for this boss, because then you really will be happy. Kind of powering this there. And should be almost and he's down. Easy peasy. Because it almost seems like, you know, getting him in that section where he's doing, you know, he's spitting that stuff out. It makes me feel like that section is like not a good time to hit him, but that's actually like the part where he's actually the most vulnerable. But if you get hit by any of those projectiles, it doesn't just hurt you. It basically then puts you into a phase where he picks you up and, you know, knocks you around a bit. So it does a lot of damage too. So it's just a general good idea just to be super aggressive with that boss, which is not what Kid Ryan thought you were supposed to do. Kid Ryan thought, oh, you're supposed to just play this slow and steady, and then eventually you'll nail enough hits on him to, you know, take him out. I took a dive on the spikes there. Also, I love the space jump. It takes a bit to get the timing down for it, but like once you do, it's like, again, just like the wall jump, it totally breaks the game. It totally just makes it feel very powerful. So now we're back at this area that we're in before to get, like, probably, again, one of the most useful items you'll get in this game, which is the plasma beam. It just cuts through enemies like butter, and even though it's not required to beat the game, I consider it a required item. It's something that you kind of have to get in order to, you know, finish this game properly. And again, I love the little demonstration here with all these enemies. Like these enemies just pop up, and it's like, look how long it takes you to kill those enemies. And now, look how long it takes to kill them with the plasma beam. So now we gotta kill all the enemies in this room. That's all of them. Alright, we're going to just shoot through this tube, because that should then bring us back to Brinstar, and then we can go straight to Norfair, and then we're off to Ridley's lair. Now again, there's another item that you can get here, the spring ball. which allows you to jump in the morph ball farm. And actually, it's not required, but it'll make our lives a little bit easier in Ridley's area, actually. I was thinking we might just skip it, but now that I think about it, it's not required, but it will make the final area go faster than the time loss we would incur to go get this. Because it does take a hot minute to get this done. Not need to shoot. Yeah, I got a little trigger happy. Oh my god, I actually made that in time. Usually I don't make it in time, and he just kind of spins around the room for 30 seconds. So again, I gotta feel bad for this guy because, you know, he does all this work. He helps us out. He does his thing. And then, you know, as soon as, you know, I get what I want from him, I'm pretty much just gonna blow him up. Spring ball. So now we have acquired all the main items except for the screw attack, which we'll get later. And I just love how you can just zip through this area now that you have the space jump. It just makes traversing this area just so much faster. Anyway, now that we have the plasma beam, it then just kills the crab so much faster. So it just really, again, starts to snowball as to how quickly you can get through the areas now. Actually, we're going to refill on super missiles later, I think. Okay. Also, I'm looking at the time too. 1:57. We're gonna make it by like the skin of our teeth, I think. I think we're gonna be able to, you guys. And let's see if there's any missiles. Of course, there's no super missiles there. We might have to grind for them later. And it's the next one. Or actually, let's do this now. Let's just get this out of the way, because this is a good grinding spot here. We need them missiles. That should be enough. Okay. And again, this area is even more of a joke than the last time we revisited because the lava doesn't even hurt us anymore. You just jump in it, which is just funny. Again, one of the secret things about the gravity suit is the fact that you don't get lava anymore, which is cool. Alright, off to Ridley's Lair we go. And now we've got, you know, the area with some of the coolest music in the entire game. Which I loved when they brought this back in Metroid Prime. And now it's kind of just been a staple in all the games now. Like, I'm just jumping through this area and it's like going down to like single-digit frame rates because it just the Super Nintendo just can't handle the power of that many enemies at once. And at this point, the charged plasma beam is actually more powerful than this is. Sweet power-ups. Now we get the final item, the screw attack. Again, my favorite item in the game because it just makes you like an unstoppable wrecking ball of destruction, and it's so cool. Oh yeah, it's not this area we bought, it's the next one. And to fully show off the screw attack, it then throws like a bajillion enemies at you at once to just jump through. Because it pretty much kills every normal enemy in one hit at this point. can just kill these guys with the plasma beam. It's just so much easier just to jump in and then just murder them instantly. We're going to make a safety save here because Ridley's one of those bosses that tend to go sideways if the bounces just don't go away. We are a little underpowered versus when I usually take it. These guys, you just have to have them jump. Alright, it's Ridley time. Let's go. Ridley's just got like a giant health pool, so it just takes a while to wear him down. We're out of missiles, super missiles. Let's just pummel him with all these missiles. We got 100 missiles we can just throw into this thing. And there we go. We got the grab at the end. Oh, I thought that was the grab to finish the fight, but it's not. One more missile, and then it's plasma beam time. There we go. We're just a little understocked than I usually would like against him, because, again, he's just got a giant health pool. And you have to kind of throw kind of everything you got at him. And unfortunately, it just took a little bit longer than I was expecting. It's now 2:08, so we got 20 or so minutes to finish the game, and I think we can do it. And again, we could stop up here to get super missiles and stuff, but before we go fight Mother Brain, we're going to get filled up on this stuff anyways, so we should have enough supplies to get us all the way back. Just don't even care about these guys anymore. This way. We don't need to grab the energy tank that's here, but it's a freebie. It's basically right here, so. Should put that to its head. Should check the hit, since we're gonna get healed anyways. Also, it's tricky to get back behind this dude, because you have to get him in like the perfect frozen position to get back behind him. There we go. I just squeeze in there by just throwing some bombs in just for that. Alright, so we didn't get the power up here. Let's just... Oh wait, we did that up against the clock. 17 minutes to get to Torian. one last bop with this music before we beat the game. And there's some more energy tanks and stuff we could go grab at this point, but we're not gonna really need them or So we could go get another brain right away, but there's an energy tank that's easy to get on the way, and then we'll use the ship also to get all our missiles back, and then kind of make a safety save here. Also, I want to point out, first of all, thank you everyone for being here. Second of all, I'm sorry for ignoring you, chat. My chat, for some reason, stopped updating before I fought Ridley. So if any of y'all were talking before then, sorry about that. I did not see your chats. I am now up to where it says Hopple's talking about paper magazines and stuff like that. But yeah, sorry I missed all your comments, you guys. I didn't think anyone was here because the chat wasn't updating or anything. So, sorry about that. Just the power of technology sometimes just does interesting things. I even miss Skinny Matt being there. I feel bad now. Sorry, Skinny Matt. If you're watching this later, I'm sorry I missed you. Yeah, you know what broke it, Luckleth, was you remember when the bots came in? Basically, when the bots came in and those were removed, that's when it stopped updating. So in a way, the bots, the channel bots, basically, the channel bots basically broke it. I'm sorry, Mexican Tail. I mean, we'll be playing The Sims 4 on this channel on Thursday. So I mean, there's that. If that's, you know, more your speed and not Super Metroid. But I love this game. It's great. I mean, it says your name in the chat, so I mean that's how I know it, is because it says it in the chat. Now we get this cool sequence just indicating that I killed all the bosses. I mean, I respect your opinion, Mexican Dale, and that's okay. I mean, not everyone thinks everything, and that's totally cool, man. But, you know, I like Metroid a lot. And, you know, hopefully you can respect that as well. What Lockwell said. Absolutely. We're here to be respectful, just have a good time. You know, even if you don't like the game that I'm playing, you know, the main thing is we're just here to hang out and have fun and just goof and, you know, be good people. So. Now, in theory, I could go really fast and use super missiles on these guys, but they don't get easily recharged later, so it's just, I'm just gonna use regular missiles for now. Alright, big story moment coming up. Story spoilers for Super Metroid are about to occur here. Because this is like the one of the pieces of story that actually happens throughout the game. We got the baby Metroid from Metroid 2. And I'm gonna kind of just let this guy hit me a little bit. Because I want to be as low of life as possible. But yeah, so the baby Metroid from Super Metroid, which was the Metroid that got kidnapped at the beginning of the game, is now a big Metroid. Now. And now y'all have to listen to the alarm that's basically telling you you've got low health. Just kind of blaring until I get my health back. But the Metroid realizes, because at the end of Metroid 2, Samus basically finds like the last surviving Metroid on, you know, the home planet of the Metroids, and she decides to basically save it after it, you know, treats her, you know, like her mother, essentially. So when the Metroid realizes it's you, it's like, oh, I'm not actually going to eat you this time. Court, you have the baby Metroid on your shelf behind you? I didn't know that was a thing. Alright. Chat, we've got 10 minutes to beat Mother Brain. Can we do it? Mother Brain is basically in this next room beyond this eye. Also, my screen flashed here, so I'm totally listening. That's awesome, Court. I'm kind of jealous now. Yeah, the only like Metroid statue or figure or anything like that I have like a Zero Suit Samus from Metroid Other M on my shelf, and she also has the baby Metroid there as well. But that's really the only cool stuff I have. All right, final boss, Mother Brain. Let's go. And all this is doing is making me like want to talk more Metroid stuff with Court at this point, because I didn't know that this, you know, fascination with Metroid actually existed before. Because I think this is the first time we've ever talked about Metroid. Come on, Mother Brain. There we go. Thank you for the save there, Lockleth. I appreciate all your support. Alright, we thought we were done with Mother Brain, but no. Now she comes back, and apparently she's got a body now. Of course, Mother Brain, the classic bad guy, not just in the Metroid series, but also in Captain N, the Game Master. Nintendo cartoon that had Mega Man and Simon Belmont and all kinds of crazy shenanigans. plant dude from Kid Icarus is also in that show too. Hopefully this doesn't kill me. That's why I made a safety suit, just in case. Don't worry, I'm not being bad on purpose. This is supposed to happen. His mother brain basically needs to get me to a specific health point. Here we go. Just as we're about to get shot, it's a boy, the baby Metroid, comes in, saves the day, drains all the energy from Mother Brain. And then, of course, they took this, like, great sequence here and turned it into, like, a really dumb FMV CG video at the beginning of Metroid Other Run. It looks real dumb. But this, of course, like, one of the classic moments. So. Because now the Metroid's going to restore my health, but Mother Brain's not actually dead. Shedding a little tear for the baby Metroid who sacrificed their life to protect Samus, but now this unlocks the most powerful weapon in the game, the Hyper Beam, which again kills any enemy in one hit, or Mother Brain a whole bunch of hits. But it's got unlimited ammo, and it shoots really fast, and it looks really cool when you use it. Really don't even need to move from this spot. And now, friends, Mother Brain is defeated. We have, 5 more minutes to go, and I think we're gonna get to the end, you guys. I think we made it. Time bomb set. Escape immediately. We have 3 minutes to finish this game. Let's go. Logwood with the drool at the end. I mean, Mother Brain just had to, get that out there. Why not? And again, we just plow through the enemies now that we've got the Hyper Beam. Sometimes the space jump can get away from me. Seth, should I save the animals? What do you think? We've got 2 minutes to go. Should I save the animals? Get your votes in now, folks. Should I save the animals or let them get blown up? Apparently y'all want me to save the animals, so we will save our animal friends who taught us all these cool tricks. Assuming that I can actually get these jumps. Although if we die, you know, beforehand. You know, it's y'all's fault for making me save the animals because we didn't make it out. There we go. Save the animals. We'll get to see them later. We'll get to see them later. All right, we got 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Let's go. And time. At exactly 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we have finished Super Metroid, you guys. First of all, thank you everyone for being here today. I really appreciate all y'all coming out and watching me beat this fantastic game. You know, my favorite game of all time. I'm so happy we were able to get it done in time to watch, you know, Planet Zebes explode. Also, you know, watch the this side of your screen here after the explosion, because we'll see a little ship fly by with our animal friends escaping. We're gonna, of course, stay till the end of the credits, though, because we need to see our item percentage and then what ending we got, of course, because, you know, that's just the key part of Super Metroid. Plus, the music is dope. Easy to finish the game out. The operation was a complete success. Clear time, 1 hour and 45 minutes. And again, that time doesn't really factor in, you know, pause time and stuff like that too. So it's a little bit off from obviously what the stream time actually was. But of course, we're going to go through the stuff here. But again, thank you everyone for coming out today. This was super fun. And again, I plan to do more stuff like this in the future. Now that I know kind of the setup works and nothing broke today, which was nice. So, we got a super chat from Trunky, who asked, rock, paper, scissors, $2. I'm gonna say paper. I go with paper. Paper is the best. And you know what beats rock, Sean? Paper does. But yeah, so don't forget, of course, 2 p.m. on Thursday, The Sims face reveal will definitely be happening now that I know, again, nothing broke today. And I think we'll have a good stream on Thursday. Sean clearly does not like the fact that I like paper the best, but, you know, I'm a paper fan. I like paper a lot. You know, scissors are nice because they can cut through things, but they're never going to beat rock, of course. But you gotta pick paper. Gotta go with paper. But Seth Hobble just pointed out how it beats it. You wrap up the paper around the rock, and the rock can't destroy the paper. That's how that works. Also, you guys ready for Deer Force? Deer Force is coming up pretty soon, you guys. We're going to Deer Force 1. Let's go. Also, I love just the little chimes at the end here and how, like, the music kind of drifts off into space and how, like, eerie it feels. It gives me chills every time I hear this part of the song. All right, we gotta see our final percentage and our ending, you guys. Let's go. And again, I love the music here. It's so good. Deer Force! And, of course, we got the best ending. Samus is just in her zero suit, you guys. We got the best ending that you can get in this game, of course, because that's how we do here at Carpool Gaming. Your rate for collecting items is 63%. So we managed to get 63% of the items while also beating the game in an hour and 45 minutes. I'd say that's pretty good stats. Pretty good stats. I usually aim for about, 80 to 90% of the items, but I think we did a good job. Did a good job there. But anyways, guys and gals, I think this is going to end the stream today. So again, thank you everyone for coming today. I really appreciate y'all coming out and watching me play Super Metroid. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day today, whatever you're doing today. And I guess I will see y'all tomorrow with the Xbox Drive. So good night, everybody. We'll see y'all later. See you next mission.